Hey guys, want to bring you another YouTube video. So just want to talk about how crazy this last 48 hours, I would say, has been. And very thankful, I guess, with, I would say, God's plan. Because obviously, with today was Charlie Kirk's, it would have been his birthday, 32nd birthday. So we would have wished him a happy birthday, and he would have been celebrating with his family, which is a sad thing. Um, but God obviously has bigger plans, and sometimes we don't know what it is. But for it to come full circle and have Charlie Kirk help President Trump to win, and to have President Trump to spare his life from that assassination attempt, two actually that we knew of. But the crazy thing is, it's just crazy, and it's almost ironic because Charlie Kirk would have wanted, I'm pretty sure, peace, be able to debate civilly and stuff like that, and have that open dialogue. And if you saw some of my videos, I did go to that Charlie Kirk funeral, and the Medal of Freedom was presented today at the White House for Erica. And I think it would have meant a lot for Charlie Kirk. But I don't know if he would have gotten that award if he didn't have that sacrifice, or if he was a martyr. And so to reflect, it comes in full circle, because if Trump was not president, and what Charlie Kirk and Trump did, working hourly this time around last year, we would have had Kamala Harris. So this was, my wife always thought she doesn't like the multiverse, and I sometimes, I like it because it makes you wonder and be thankful at the present time. And so if you think about it, if Trump did not live, I wonder if, I feel like Charlie Kirk might, because either way he would have still been fighting for freedom and freedom of speech, being able to have debates that you should be able to. So, or maybe Charlie Kirk would have been more, probably concerned, because that was an outdoor event. Maybe he would have been more like wanting to stay indoors if that did happen, in that sense. But the last 48 hours, if you look at it, President Trump would have never had this opportunity, and we would have had Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris would have not been able to pull this off, this miracle, to be honest. To have 20 hostages and have Hamas and Israel to have peace. And I might do another video, because I want to fact check. I don't know if Trump has stopped what he claims 8 wars, because I'm probably only aware of 3 or 4 that I could think of top of my head. Because there's this one, I believe, Cambodia and Thailand. There's the India one, and then 3 I could think of right at the top of my head right now. So, but the biggest one was this one, and then Ukraine and Russia. So if he stops Russia and Ukraine, that means he's had 2 terms where there was no wars that he was able to stop. So that when people were afraid that he's going to have wars or World War III during his presidency, that was all lies, obviously, because we have enough evidence that he doesn't believe that. And so he believes world peace, and Abraham Accords in his first term helped set up this. And so for him to be able to pull this off was a miracle. That phase 2 is going to be pretty difficult from what it sounds like. But if Hamas fully disarm and Gaza is going to start rebuilding and flourishing, and there's peace there, that is a miracle there. Um, but like I said, with Charlie Kirk's birthday and how things kind of intertwine, because if you think about Trump's timeline of him going out there, also because he flew out to the Middle East, and I don't know, like that's the other crazy thing, like Biden, he supposedly he's trying to say he laid the groundwork for this deal, the framework, I guess you could say. But I don't care if you did. It's how you execute. I could say I want to be a billionaire, but if I can't execute, it doesn't mean anything. So, for him to get it and pull it to the finish line, it was amazing in that sense. And then for someone his age, and I hope when I'm his age that I have that amount of energy, because sometimes I can't even function for. I mean, when I was younger, I could function with very little sleep. But now, as I'm getting older, and like I said, I can't imagine how he has all this energy. And I've flown international before to Europe and stuff like that. And I have jet lag after a week still sometimes. So for him to fly to DC, from DC to Israel, and then to Egypt, and then he had to fly back to America. I believe they said he got back to DC around 2 in the morning, which is crazy because then he had to meet with Argentina president or something like that, I believe. So he had a meeting right away once he landed. So I think he probably got a couple hours of sleep on the plane. And then he had earlier today the Charlie Kirk ceremony for Medal of Freedom because it was his birthday. So it's like a significant meaning. So supposedly he had another meeting after that. So it's like, I don't know how you rest for someone like his age and have that energy. Same for Charlie Kirk at the time. But he's way younger than Trump. So sometimes I feel like, man, if I had that energy, that would be great. I could get more things done. But again, for these past 48 hours, for the amount of things he was able to accomplish and do, for I think if we're going to be, and even some of the Democrats start, like Hillary Clinton, Bill Clinton, I don't think Obama gave him credit. I think Kamala did, but not like mentioning his name. I think there's some other people. Chuck Schumer, I think also Hakeem Jeffries might have also. Not 100% on those two because they are still trying to hold off and shut down the government because they want the illegal immigrants to be able to have health care for free on our tax dollar dime. So I think that is probably why the Democrats don't want to give any credit. If he's willing to work with bringing peace, you would think this government shutdown would already end by now. But again, it's what leverage you have. I don't think the Democrats have much leverage, and because he has other things that he can get done, he's using his time wisely, I guess you could say. So again, I'm pretty sure the left side media, yes, they did give him credit and everything. But I think they're probably going to go back just like what they did with Charlie Kirk. After probably 24, 48 hours, they're going to go back attacking the Republicans and the right, like how he's all these things, but they're not true because his actions it's speaking a lot louder than words, because again, they kept saying he doesn't want world peace, he's going to cause wars. So obviously those are totally wrong, and he's done something no other president has been able to do with the peace in the Middle East. So, again, I don't know where would we be. I guess we would know. The hostages would probably still be there. We would probably have a law war. We would probably be closer to World War III, to be honest, than away. So I think that's why Trump had to be our next president, because we would have been such a mess in that sense. And like I said, there's more people probably going to be turned away and see, because you don't see any more protests, because, well, both sides, which is ironic, are cheering for Trump when you watch videos of Israel and Palestine and stuff like that. The Middle East is like cheering for Trump. So I think he should have got the Nobel Peace Award, but obviously it sounds like it's rigged in that sense, because that root word peace is in there, but he's actually accomplished peace. Let me know what you think. But these last 40 hours was amazing for America, Israel, for world peace and stuff like that at this rate. Like I said, if he gets the last war of Ukraine and Russia, he should win the Nobel Peace. You could go down as one of the best presidents, which I would have never thought I would have said in the longest time. But that's the type of credit. You have to look at people's achievements and what they're able to accomplish. So go ahead and hit that like button, subscribe to our channel if you haven't done so, and together we can build a better tomorrow. Thanks.